Hello everyone, and welcome to Team Knack's Hosmer's Dig. I'm going to start by clicking a new game here, and just demonstrating a few of our visual assets that we've added to the game. You'll notice first that we have a player that's actually a human body, rather than just a normal, pile of capsules. We also have a gun. Instead of a tube that just aimed, we have a very detailed gun that we've got here. An additional thing that we've added is this reload option, which creates a puff of dust every time. We cannot reload again until we've fired. Now we can reload. Same thing, audio effects, shoot through the wall. Hold left mouse button to fire plasma gun. Press R to reload, destroy the wall. Another thing that we solved was being able to get through this menu by hitting space instead of E. What we used to have set up was hitting E, in fact, and by doing that, you'd move on. What we didn't realize was that E was actually activating as well. It just didn't happen to interact with anything that the player was standing by. When we started implementing space, we realized that hitting space would make the player jump upon exiting this menu. There was a lot of work that went into making sure that when we hit space now, the player does not leap off the ground after exiting the menu. We'll just hit a checkpoint. A little more work was done to make sure that this power shot collided through all of the targets. Every now and then it would clip against something at a corner. Few implementations were made to change that. Another, if you might have noticed, although I did a very poor job of it behind the wall, was that the first kill floats the number roughly where it is. On a collision, or on a trampling collision of this power shot, if you line up a collateral damage, the numbers end up stacking above in order to not be transposed upon each other over and over. That created an issue with the mole that was on the ground. So when you had to shoot a mole on the ground, we had to adjust the damage a little bit higher. Now, on to the good stuff. Charging stations. Press space to continue. This is one of our very fine assets we've got right here. Along with the player body and the player gun, we have a new charging station. Ours used to be a nice little yellow box with a green light and a red light, and the green would be on as long as the charging station was still had stuff to charge. So if we do this here, and then press RBM, right mouse button, to use the power shot. Hitting multiple enemies with the power shot provides a multiplier, as discussed just a moment ago. We also get to reload that power shot when we reload from the station. Notice it drops from 2 to 1. If we reload one more time, now the light triggers from green to red to indicate that the box is empty. Moving on, we see this nice spike pit that our artists have added as well. Maybe I can get this collateral shot we've been talking about. But with this spike pit right here, adding damage, we return to our checkpoint. This nice spike pit right here, there's two variations. One kills on contact, and some just apply a little bit of damage. This one kills on immediate contact. Hold left shift to dash. Using dash while jumping increases jump distance. So if we do that, we hear a heart rate. Now ideally, this bridge is going to begin to collapse. There's that upper collateral we got. Now ideally, this bridge will begin to collapse when the developers get a chance to go in here and rework with all the assets. But for now, the art team has provided this great suspension bridge. It's exactly what we requested in order to have to dash across as the earlier instruction had given us. back over here. So let's move on and see what else we have. Some of these spike bits have not been implemented with all the damage when we're trying to get the assets going. Diamonds equal 1,000 points, gold nuggets equal 100 points, and health packs restore 20 health. Space to continue, and again, we will not jump. Perfect. And we notice these nice animations. Freeze the player right here with a PFI gives them the perfect response of 1,000 for the diamond, 100 for the gold nugget, and plus 20 with this nice little heart for the health. But frozen right here gives a player a really good tutorial intro to how the things work, even if they're dashing through, trying to get away. Doors take the player to other areas. Please press E to interact. Now we're hitting spacebar to continue instead of E, so we hit the space. We also changed the doors out. These doors used to be modeled and animated, but we're letting our art team take over and make these a higher priority. As you can see, the doors are well slatted and perfect proportion to the player body. We didn't have time to animate this yet, so when I hit E right here, we're just going to transport through, and voila. Obviously, in time, those doors will open and close, depending on whether we're entering or exiting. But other than that, all the assets seem to be filling out pretty well. Take a look at level 2 just briefly. Notice the same player model, same player gun, reload. And boy, we wish we had someone better playing this game. Again, the collateral damage flying through everything. The box is dropping gold. And more of these beautiful spike pits. That if had damage, would have killed me there. But still, we managed to adjust the jump pad high enough to get over what the slight artist design had been. And I do believe that this is coming up on the end of it. In the build, sadly, I can't zoom in and look at this gun. But if we take just a second to notice as it shifts slowly, this is a really well designed gun. And we might have to work out a way to better enhance what it looks like. Possibly with lighting, possibly when it's not as just blocked out, but actual textures come into play. The same with this great little capsule that gets ejected that also came from the art team, replacing just a little capsule that we had. There we go. And I think that about wraps it up. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.